No, we are not reviewing Terminator 2, the super fantastic musical. There's no such thing anyway, that was a comedy sketch.
Terminator 2, the super fantastic musical. They're almost here to rehearse. I'm so nervous, Maria. I'm as nervous as the time when I had to have the baby in Junior.
Hello and welcome to Brand X Reviews. Today I'm going to be talking about the Terminator films. There are 5 films that I'm going to be talking about here. Now a lot of you probably think, Skelton, what are you talking about? There are only 4 films. Terminator 1, 2 and 3 and Terminator Salvation. Well actually there is a number 5 and I'll explain that later on because I'm going to go through this in chronological order. Now Terminator 1, we used to own on tape when I was a kid. And I was about 9 when I saw it, so I was quite young. And you know, hats off to my mother really for letting me watch it at such a young age because it's a pretty awesome film. For the longest time we had this on tape and as far as I'm aware there's only really one cut of the film, there's no director's cut as far as I know. I've not seen one anyway, and if there is it's not available in the UK. If I'm wrong, please put something in the comments on either the website or YouTube because I'd love to see it if there is. Like I said, we had it on tape, but it wasn't until 2001 when it got a DVD release. Now, this is the one that I bought. I'm pretty sure I bought it the day it came out. And anyway, the extras on this are perfectly fine. Like I say, I haven't felt a need to upgrade to Blu-ray or anything else. It's been re-released a few times with different extras and different packaging. I think there's a 1-disc version where it's just a film. So, like I said, but this is the one that I went with. And I've always kept it. I've still got the receipt. I sometimes keep receipts, but I paid 20 quid for this when it first came out. That's really expensive even by today's standards, and that was back in 2001. But you wouldn't even pay 20 quid for a new Blu-ray now, really. In the shops you probably pay about 15 quid, so kind of weird how prices have gone down over time. But anyway, like I say, the extras on it are good, deleted scenes, documentaries, that kind of thing. This is the one to get really. If you haven't seen this film before, or if you have and you just don't own it, this is the one to get basically.
Arnold Schwarzenegger is the Terminator.
The next film that came out, that film came out in 1984, so the sequel wasn't until 1991, so it was a 7-year gap. It was one of those films where the longer they left it, the more demand there was for a sequel, and I just remember when this came out, and it was the coolest film. You know, if you owned Terminator 2, you were officially cool for life, you know. Well, you were in my circle of friends anyway, but it was a massive hit, and I think whenever I think about sequels that are better than the original, Terminator 2 always stands out as a shining example of that.
Terminator 2, Judgment Day. This time, he's back. For good.
Trust me.
But again, this is one that I bought that pretty much around about the time it came out, the first issue on DVD. I think it was about 2001-ish. And I've never felt a need to upgrade. The extras are pretty good. It's kind of hard to navigate. I do remember that when you're on the actual the menu screen. It's fairly hard to kind of find stuff, especially on the extras. But that could be better. But the one that I got came in a metal case. It's quite nice. I think you can still get this in shops and stuff, and on Amazon or wherever. And it's got like a 32-page collector's booklet and stuff like that, and loads of, like I said, loads of deleted scenes. There is a Blu-ray version of this which has 3 cuts of the film. The original theatrical version, the 1994, I think, special edition, which was pretty much a director's cut, which you also get on this. But there's a 3rd version, which the only difference I know is it's got the alternative ending where it's got Sarah Connor in the playground that's set in the year 2027. That is on this, but it's only as an extra. It's not incorporated into the film, but on the Blu-ray you get a version of the film that's got that on it. So if that's important to you, get the Blu-ray. It's not important to me anyway, so like I said, I'll stick with this. Those are James Cameron's Terminator films 1 and 2. 2003 there was a 3rd film, but it was directed by Jonathan Mostow. It gets criticised quite a lot but I found it pretty good. As far as I'm concerned, the Terminator films pretty much start and end with number one. Well, start with number one and end with number two. In terms of James Cameron's original vision, it's a complete story. It comes full circle and it ends with on a positive note. But they had to kind of ruin that with a sequel. But it's a good film nonetheless. It's got some really good bits in it, really good action moments in it. It's got some ridiculous comedy in it, but I don't know. It kind of drags it down a bit, unfortunately.
Hey! Hey! Are you gonna pay for that?
Talk to the hand.
There's the DVD. I didn't feel a need to upgrade to Blu-ray or anything in terms of extras or quality. I'm fairly happy with it, so don't really have much else to say about that. Now the fourth film was in 2009. This is another film that really gets slated. I think most people really think this film is rubbish, but I like it. I actually like Terminator Salvation. I'm going to kind of put myself on the line by saying that. But this it's kind of an alternative timeline because of things that they changed. They kind of addressed that in the third film, but in this one it's really apparent because the vision of the future that you saw in the earlier films is nothing like, well, not really much like the vision that you see in this film.
I'm the only hope you have.
It's got Christian Bale in it, and I remember when one of my mates told me, they're making a fourth Terminator film and Christian Bale's going to be John Connor. I was like, get out of here, they won't do that, that's ridiculous. But it turned out to be true. And it didn't do a bad job, really. Like I said, I'm a big Christian Bale fan, and it was just kind of a ballsy thing to make, really. It was directed by McG, which is a bit of a weird name. That is his name, apparently. And he directed the Charlie's Angels film, so there wasn't really a lot of hope for this coming out, but it was good. Director's cut only available on Blu-ray, unfortunately. Why? Why not available on DVD? God knows. But extra features, I think the extras are pretty much the same as you got on the DVD. I did used to own it and I upgraded a few years ago. But director's cut and the extra bits are noticeable in it and are quite good. So that's that. I did say there are 5 films. The fifth one is this. It's an animated thing, really, and it's something that I didn't even know existed until last year. It came out in 2009, pretty much around about the time this came out, and it goes kind of hand in hand. This kind of leads on to this. The animated one is set 2 years before Terminator Salvation. And it's technically not even a film. It's called Terminator Salvation: The Machinima Series. It's episodic, but it's put together as a film. I say episodic, it was broken down into a number of maybe 7 episodes or something like that, and it does kind of stop and you have credits, then it starts again for the next episode. But when you watch it all together, it's a fairly solid 74-minute film. It's a pretty good story as well. It's got one of the characters from this, the actress is called Moon Bloodgood. She's like an Asian female character, and she plays a character called Williams. So it kind of introduces her character, and you will see her later on in Terminator Salvation. And the animation on it is kind of rubbish, really. It's like a computer game, unfortunately, but it's still pretty good. It's watchable. I've watched it twice since I bought it last year in 2012, and I will watch it again. So I think it's quite good. But well, I've seen worse anyway. Let's just put it that way. But that's something that you can get on Amazon. It's not really easy to find. Like I said, I didn't even know it existed until last year. So those are my reviews anyway of the DVDs and stuff. There are other things that I've collected over years, like some of the figures and stuff. In fact, I'll show you. These are the figures that came out around about the time Terminator 2 came out in the early 90s. So bear in mind I was a little kid, that's why I own these. That doesn't explain why I own figures from Terminator 3 and Terminator Salvation, but that's just because I'm a collector. What can I say? I've explained this in other videos. People don't understand why I collect these things, but I do, so get over it. Anyway, this is my review of some of the little bits and pieces that I've collected over the years. And these are some of the figures that I've collected. Like I say, I've had them for quite a long time. This was one of the first ones I ever got, which was pretty cool. I don't know why it has this function on it, but it's kind of more Robocop-like. I'm pretty sure Robocop has something like that. But it has a kind of detachable arm that comes off, and you can attach these alternative arms on there. This one's got like a kind of missile firing thing, and there's also another kind of thing. This was, I think it was McFarlane Toys made this one. It's pretty cool. It's a lot better than the one from the early 90s, which I'll get to in a minute. There's been a lot of them released over the years. This was from Terminator 3. This was another one from the Terminator 2 range that I got in the early 90s when I was a kid. It has this missile thing that kind of fires out of it, but it's broken now, so I can't really demonstrate it. But if you press this button on his back, his kind of torso flips open, and it used to fire this missile out of there. So it kind of looks really creepy, does it, actually? Nothing like anything you would see in the film. This was from Terminator Salvation. I just thought it looked pretty cool. It's a T600. Also, there is this was a T700, I believe it was called, which is from Terminator Salvation again. It's a lot smaller than the other ones, but also this one was pretty cool. He has this kind of weapon that goes in his hand. It looks a bit weird, but the reason for that is you can actually take this and put it on his head, kind of like this. So it's not really like anything you see in the film. And he's got like a sort of, hard to do with one hand, but he's got like a sort of punching mechanism as well. And also one other thing, if you put it up to the light, if you watch his eyes when you put it towards the light, they kind of glow like that, because he's got like a sort of holes in his head there that when you put it to the light, the eyes kind of glow, which is pretty cool. For a toy made in the 90s, that's pretty cool anyway. There's this bike as well, which I got from Terminator 2, which you don't see in the film or anything like that, but press this button, this bit opens up, and you get this little missile that fires out like that. Other stuff, there was this that we used to have, which was pretty cool in the early 90s, which was Terminator 2 Judgment Day, and oh my god, it's the seal of shit. LJN, which was pretty much a computer game company that was known for making fairly bad games back in the 80s and 90s, I believe. A lot of them were film-related games too. But this was quite a good game. We used to have it on the Amiga 500. There was like a punch-em-up level at the beginning with the Terminator, and you had some pretty good cut scenes from the film. Graphics weren't too bad. There was a chase bit in it as well. There was like a puzzle with the LJN logo fairly prominent in the bottom middle of the screen. This is a pretty good level. I remember how the hand moved. It was kind of creepy at the time. You had another punch-up level with the Terminator. It was pretty cool. I remember he used to melt into the ground when you used to beat him. Another puzzle with his face. You got to put his face back together. Another shoot-'em-up level, kind of platform thingy. Another chase level. I remember this one when the helicopter with the T-1000 crashes right at the end. It was pretty cool. And then it ends in the foundry at the end, just like in the film. So it's quite a good video game, and it followed the film quite closely. You get this message at the end when you win. So pretty cool game anyway. Hasta la vista, you twat. Oh shit, it's filming. Sorry, I didn't realise. Sorry. Anyway, let's wrap this up now. That's my review of the Terminator films. The website is brandxreviews.com. Check it out. There's going to be plenty more stuff coming. There's plenty up already. I think there's like 25 other videos that I've done prior to this, and there's going to be, like I say, plenty more coming. Look out for the Highlander one that I'm going to be reviewing, the film series, and kind of touching upon the TV series as well. There's going to be a Bruce Lee retrospective. There's going to be a couple of Jason Statham reviews as well. So keep checking back anyway. Like I said, the website is brandxreviews.com, and we will see you for the next review. Thank you very much.